All right, hey guys, welcome back to the Ethan Lemler Podcast Show. I'm your host, Ethan. Today we'll be going to be going through my power rankings and seeing what all the guys think about it. All right, today with us we have Ryan, Rishi, George, Mark, and for the first time newcomer Noah. He's one of our editors here, and we're happy to have him on the show for the first time. Say hi, Noah.
What's up?
Okay. I know I said today we were going to have segments, but we decided to go in another direction and decided to have power rankings today. But right now, I'd like to announce something. Right, either this Saturday or next Saturday, we will be dropping the Ethan Lemler Talk Show. It's going to have different segments, esports, marble racing, health tips, just a lot of different things, and we are really excited about it. One more thing before we start, go follow down below in the description, official ELPS on Instagram, so we can get all of our updates, all of our crew members. It's good info, and like and subscribe if you guys want to see more of this. All right, let's jump into it. NFL Power Rankings, my edition. That just so everybody knows, everybody here has not seen it. I'm the only one that knows what this is. Let's jump into it. Number 32, my last team, the Jacksonville Jaguars. All right. So, this team, they were pretty bad last year, and they just have not gotten better. They don't have anybody on either side of the ball, especially since they just declined Leonard Fournette's option this year. What do you guys think about this at number 32?
I like it. I mean, the Jaguars are pretty trash in every aspect of their team. They need like a full rebuild. So obviously number 32 is where they should be.
Yep. Anybody disagree with
I
this?
agree.
All right. 31, we have the Washington Redskins. Their 2019 record was 3-13. Again, they weren't very good last year, and they just have not gotten better at all. So I could not move them up. They got Chase Young, but other than that, that's really their only dynamic playmaker. Unless Dwayne Haskins can do something this year, they're going to be stuck at the bottom.
Last year, the Redskins were last in all the pass yards with 2,812. I think this actually might get a little better, and I expect them to do better than you're saying right now at number 31. They added a great new running back in Gandy Golden, and also I feel like someone who's going to be a great playmaker next to Terry McLaurin. I'm not sure, but they just got him in the draft in the 4th round.
I mean, they lost Trent Williams, so I think that
right.
This is
Trent Williams didn't play last year, so say what they will, they didn't really lose him. Just say.
Well, the Panthers better be number 30 because I think they're worse.
No, the Panthers are not horrible. The Panthers aren't.
All right, let's not get ahead of ourselves. But what I will say, Ryan, you will not like my number 30. New York Giants, 2019 record 4-12. All right, they have some playmakers, but Saquon, Daniel Jones, he might have a better year this year. I think he will. But other than that, their defense is hot garbage. It's a mess. And they have a new coach, Joe Judge. I like him, but I'm not really sure how he's going to be in his first year. Ryan, what do you think about this?
Staff.
No, I don't like Joe Judge.
Than 4 wins.
I actually think that
going to go up.
Yeah, I actually think that the Giants won't be as bad as we think this year. They added O-line help, and I think feed Saquon, and then you should be fine.
Yeah, they had a great draft.
Surprisingly, last year, their pass attack was better than the rush attack, and I think that's really going to be important for this year with their new revamped O-line.
Jones is only going to get better, and they're not going to be the 3rd worst team in the league.
That's where we disagree. I don't see anybody else. I don't see how they can be better. They might get on 5 or 6 wins, but I see them at least finishing in the bottom 10 at the end of the year.
Well, they have a much better offensive coordinator in Jason Garrett. He wasn't a good coach.
Let's see how he claps from the sideline.
Good offensive coordinator.
All right. Number 29, we have the Cincinnati Bengals. All right. I like their draft. They had a really good draft. But right now, they have a ton of rookies and not a great defense. Joe Burrow, he might have a great year, a good year, maybe a great year, but I can't really move them up farther than this with just the amount of rookies they have and the amount of hope they're putting on these rookies.
They're going to be a high-powered offense, I think.
Yeah, they're going to have a high-powered offense, but their defense is going to be complete garbage. I mean, like, they have no one, like, really that good on defense. All, like, the rookies that they drafted, they didn't spend, like, they didn't spend high draft capital on them, so I don't think the Bengals will do that good.
Number
I agree with
28.
Ethan.
Oh,
All right,
never
never
mind.
mind. All right,
Mark,
yeah,
keep going.
yeah, Ethan, I agree with you. They're pretty young and inexperienced, but I think maybe in a couple years they'll be able to make a run.
Yep. Number 28, the Chicago Bears. This is our highest 2019 record so far on this list. But, you know, they aren't good. I don't know what to say other than that.
They just declined Trubisky's
they're a
option.
mess.
Yeah.
What'd they do?
They just declined Trubisky's option like 20 minutes ago.
Wow, then. So they have Nick Foles, correct?
No, for 2 years. They have Trubisky next year. But I think Foles will start.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they have Nick Foles, Mitchell Trubisky. They just have an all-around. It's going to be a while until they're good again.
I mean,
As much as I like having the Bears this low on the power rankings, I'm going to have to disagree here.
yeah, me too.
Their defense is still going to be one of the top 3 in the league next year. And
I
wouldn't say
so.
top 3. I think maybe
top 3.
I think top 10.
Top 10.
Top 10, maybe.
Top 5. Top 5.
Top
I
5.
think
No,
Coach.
there are good defenses, and the Bears' defense is not one of them.
No,
They're not
the
a
Bears
top 5
defense is a
defense.
top
They're
10
not-
defense.
Yeah, they're not a bad defense by.
They're not.
No.
So I
But
actually
they're not a
think
great
the
defense.
Bears have that. I think with the new playoff system, the Bears could make that 7th seed. I actually think that.
Hey Rishi, that
I think with the
that
addition of
it's
Nick
being-
Foles,
that's not until 2021, 2022.
Nick Foles is actually like an amazing quarterback. He just makes everyone around him better. I think the Bears, like,
That's
if they don't
biased.
play
Move,
Trubisky,
John.
That's
not
a huge
biased.
bias right there, and it's
I've
not
always
right.
loved Nick Foles, even before the Super Bowl run when he was on the Eagles. I think he just makes everyone around him better. I think the Bears, they might not, but they might be like on the fringe of a playoff team.
Their defense will be enough to keep them in some close games. Like, especially going against the Lions twice, you're going to get at least, like, 2-3 wins. Like, guaranteed wins, not to mention a bunch of close ones. I think they're going to go somewhere around their 2019 record.
I'm predicting 6 wins, but that's not important right now. Number 27, the Detroit Lions, 2019 record 3-12-1. Last year, Matthew Stafford was having a great season until he got hurt. Lions, as I was saying, Matthew Stafford, he's a good quarterback, but they don't really have that much around him. They have Swift and Kerryon Johnson in their backfield, which is a pretty surprisingly for the Lions, they have one of the best backfields in the league now. But their defense is just as we've said. This is just this is a trend from the bottom couple teams. Their defense is just garbage. They have Okuda now, but they don't really have anybody else, and they're going to be rebuilding for the next couple of years.
I think the Lions might surprise us. Last year, they were top 10 in passing yards with David Blau starting for most of the season. I think with this new rush offense that you get in DeAndre Swift, I think they drafted him.
Yeah.
This is going to be actually kind of a scary offense, especially with the 1-2 punch you have in Marvin Jones and Kenny Galladay.
And they also had Hawkinson, who they spent a top
but
10
they
pick
can't
on last
compete.
year.
They can't
Yeah, they
compete
can't.
in their division.
I don't think they're like with their tough division they have. I don't think they can compete.
26, Los Angeles Chargers, 2019 record 5-11. I put this up here just because if Tyrod Taylor and Justin Herbert could bring out a mediocre season, if not, they would be bottom 5, no doubt in my mind. But this team is they're rebuilding. They're on the ups. They have a couple good players, but overall, it's just going to be a while again for this team to be in contention for
For
just
them,
the playoffs.
it's the opposite. Their defense is good. Their offense needs to find itself.
Yeah, but they're
Yeah,
not
but
going to find themselves with Tyrod Taylor.
No.
He's not a good quarterback.
I think that the Chargers aren't going to be as bad as like this power ranking says because they did add Brian Bulaga to protect Herbert, and they also added Chris Harris, I think a top 10 cornerback, and they also added some pass rush in Linval Joseph. So they're not going to be like
All right.
horrible, but definitely not a playoff team.
25, we have the New England Patriots. 2019 record, 12-4. All right, this is where we get a little bit testy. From the ESPN, I believe the ESPN had them top 15. I'm going to change this up. Bottom 10, number 25. This team, they have a great defense, as we saw last year. They have zero offense. Their only offense last year is Tom Brady. They lost him. They have no wide receivers. They have Michelle as running back. That's it. And they don't have a quarterback. You know, this team is going to struggle. They have Belichick, obviously, which is better than any of these other rebuilding teams can say. But they are going to struggle. For the first time in 20 years, I'm personally very happy to say it. The New England Patriots are going to struggle.
I don't know how you
As
can say
much
they
as I
have no receivers.
So you saw last
What
year
receivers do
the
they have?
Patriots.
What
Still,
receivers?
I don't know.
Edelman. The Patriots, I think,
That's
retained
true. That's
most
it,
of their
though.
receivers. They lost Brady, but the defense of the New England Patriots is top 3 in the whole NFL. I think that their defense, just like last year, they can carry this Patriots team to maybe a 5-6 seed in the AFC.
Yeah,
Yeah,
as much as I dislike the Patriots, they don't deserve to be this low.
And
I think people
mean,
put too much into the loss of Brady. I mean, he didn't have a great season last year. He wasn't bad, but it wasn't a great season for him last year.
It was the defense.
And with the kind of weak division, AFC East, the only good team is the Bills. I think that the Patriots definitely not a bottom 10 team.
Yeah, Tom Brady, you guys are regarding the leaving of Tom Brady way too much. Last year, he
That's
had
what
a
I
passer
am.
rating of only 88. He's not going to affect this as much because last year, what really carried them was their defense and they're retaining most of their key players. Although
they
they
all-
didn't have the best draft, I think Stidham can get the job done here.
And the Patriots have also one of the most
No.
underrated run games in the whole NFL. James White is one of the best pass-catching running backs in this last year, and Sony Michel is just a workhorse. Their rushing attack, their running backs, their dual threat in the backfield, they're pretty good.
All right. Number 24. Weird to say, Las Vegas Raiders, 2019 record 7-9. This team's complicated. I thought they had a very bad draft, but they still have Derek Carr, who has a possibility of being a good quarterback. This team could either just be so bad, a 3-win, 4-win team, or they could surprise us all and have not 8, 9, 10 wins even. I'm not really sure with this team, so that's why I put it at number 24, because I believe they will not be great 4 or 5 win team.
I'm going to have to disagree with you. I think they had a great draft. They already have a top 10 offense right here in their
top 10
their passing yards.
You're throwing around. George. You're throwing around top 10 willy nilly. Top 10 this. Top 10 that.
Passing yards with a 70% completion rate from Derek Carr. That is
okay,
a great
but top passing yards
already.
is not everything. What about running? Oh, they have
Josh Jacobs.
Yeah.
They actually have a
but
underrated offense. They have Tyrell Williams. They just
And then
added
you
Henry
add-
Ruggs, and they have Darren Waller.
He had 90 receptions last year for Carr.
who did?
Waller.
Waller, right. But their defense, again, what George says a top 10 offense do with a bottom 10, maybe bottom 5 defense?
You're disregarding their free agent signings. Corey Littleton and Nick Kwiatkowski. That's going to be a scary linebacker duo. I tell you right now.
I disagree.
Kwiatkowski,
I don't think
great
it will
in
be.
coverage. Corey Littleton is going to be all over the field making tackles in the run game. The only question they have is in the pass game, their defensive backs. That's where I see it as a problem. Except they added Damon Arnett. Who knows how he'll pan out? We're not the experts. We may have disliked the Damon Arnett pick, but what we don't know what John Gruden knows about Arnett that we don't. Also, new safety. They drafted first rounder last year, Abram, who sat out all of last year due to injury. I think he's going to step it up this year, and the Raiders are going to be one of the more underrated teams of 2020.
Right. We're gonna have to disagree there, but good opinions from both sides. Number 23, Carolina Panthers, 2019 record, 5-11. I was thinking about putting this team. Now that I think about it, I probably should have put this team a little bit lower, maybe around the 26-27 mark. But they still have one of the best players in the league, in Christian McCaffrey. And remind me, who is their quarterback going to be this year?
Bridgewater.
I don't remember. Bridgewater, right? Bridgewater, who went 5-0 with the Saints last year. So
The Saints.
Bridgewater and CMC back there, they have a possibility of being a very good offense. And the Panthers picked all of their draft picks were defense. I'm pretty sure that was the first time in modern day draft era, modern day Super Bowl era, that a team has picked all defensive players. So they knew what they had to do, and they really got down and got it. So again, now that I talked it out a bit, I'm keeping this pick at number 23.
Yeah, I actually love the Panthers draft, just picking all defense, but I think they play in the NFC South with the Saints and the Buccaneers, who just got a revamped offense. So I don't think there's a chance the Panthers win over 7 games with that hard of a division.
Yeah.
Right.
Ethan, I
They're
can't
not going
believe
to
you put
win
them
much,
above
but
the
they're
Patriots.
going to be underrated. That's what I have to say. The Panthers are going to win the games outside their divisions. They have Robbie Anderson, I think is a really underrated addition. He's going to stretch the field along with their run game. Teddy Bridgewater and Christian McCaffrey will kind of be like the Ravens to a smaller extent.
What were you saying, Noah?
I can't believe you put these guys above the Patriots. You honestly think the Carolina Panthers are better than the Patriots right now?
Yes, at this point I do.
No,
Yeah.
Patriots.
Yeah, we're gonna have to,
I give
Patriots are a
absolutely
playoff
no
team.
credit to the Patriots.
Patriots are a
The
playoff
Panthers-
team.
They're a playoff team.
Yes,
that
they're a
is-
playoff team. Just watch.
No, that is idiotic.
they have the
You're
best
just
coach
thinking-
in
I'm sorry.
NFL history, man.
I
Best coach
understand
to
that.
lead
They
defense,
lost
that's
their
enough.
core. Their core is Brady. What is
No.
Belichick without Brady? He lost his fire. Okay? He lost everything.
Tom
they have
Brady
a
was a
defense.
6th-round
That's
pick.
it.
Stidham could pan out to be the same type of player.
Come on. You can't compare Jared Stidham to Tom Brady. Now we're
I
just being a
can't
little
right
bit
now,
crazy.
but who knows? Who knows? They have an elite
No,
defense.
I will
Defense
never
wins
compare.
championships.
Defense wins championships.
Also, a quarterback that's not named Jared Stidham. So, next, number 22, Atlanta Falcons, 2019 record, 7-9. I always thought the Falcons, they were going to eventually pop off, and they never did in 2019. I feel like their talent is so much better than what their record shows. A 7-9 team that consists of Matt Ryan, Julio Jones, Devontae Freeman, Austin Hooper, and
They lost Hooper.
They
Now
lost.
oh, it
Freeman,
was
too.
Austin Hooper.
It's
It
Gurley.
was in 2019. It was,
Yeah.
and their other wide receiver, can't remember his name right now, but their defense is just not good right now. It should have been, but they just need something. They need a leader right now on defense. They have nobody that can make the clutch plays when they need them.
Yeah, I mean they reached for AJ Terrell in the draft. Their defense needs a lot of decent amount of work, and again going with the trend, they play in a really tough division with when you have to go against Drew Brees and Michael Thomas, like you're not gonna be winning games against these teams.
Yeah.
And also Brady and Mike Evans.
Right. Next, Number 21, we have the Houston Texans. 2019 record, 10-6. All right. Obviously, I think we can all agree Bill O'Brien is the worst coach or GM in the NFL. So I don't know what you can
It
do
is
when
but he's making a ballsy move right now. I think they're still a playoff team, the Texans.
Yeah, they have
Watson
too
is
much
still going to
talent.
do great things.
no,
And
they
the
lost too
thing they're
much.
trying to build here is kind of like a Shanahan offense. They don't have a clear number one receiver. It's not what
Georgia
the
and the
Texans
Shanahan offenses. What are you
right
gonna do?
now. Do you know what they're doing? They're adding a bunch of speed guys. Kenny Stills, Brandon Cooks, Will Fuller. These are all guys who will get down the field. And then I see what they're doing by adding David Johnson. They want to do a rush-heavy attack. I don't think
All right,
it's the right
George, I'm
move.
going to give you a name. DeAndre Hopkins, their number one receiver. The guy they threw to when they needed a catch. The guy they threw to when they needed a touchdown. This DeAndre Hopkins he was an all-pro last year. And you know what they gave him away for? David Johnson, injury-prone running back who hasn't been good since 2018, and a second-round pick. They just threw away one of the heads of their franchises for David Johnson and a second-round pick.
How much can
That is
DeAndre
one of the
Hopkins
worst
affect,
trades I've ever seen
It was a
in
bad
the
trade.
NFL.
That doesn't mean they're not a bad
There's no
team.
doubt it's a
Yeah.
bad trade.
never
but
said
how
they were
much
a bad
will DeAndre
team.
Hopkins will actually affect it? Bill O'Brien has a plan that we don't know. We may all hate on
No,
him, but
I
he
disagree.
has a
He does
Every
not have a
team
plan.
has a
Okay,
The
plan.
They're
Texans
still a
don't
playoff
have a
team no
horrible
matter
wide
what.
receiver core. They got Brandon Cooks, they have Kenny Stills, and they have one of my favorite wide receivers, Will Fuller. He pops off every year in fantasy.
I agree, but
53
Will Fuller and
points.
Brandon Cooks are both injury prone, and Kenny Stills, although he's pretty good, he's no better than a wide receiver 3. So he's a solid wide receiver 3. They don't have a wide receiver 1 at the moment, and with Deshaun Watson, they really
That's
need
what they
one.
don't want.
You don't
want
need a wide receiver one.
number one receiver. Do the Niners have a clear-cut number one receiver? All the good
No.
teams now don't have a clear-cut
Deebo
number
Samuel's a
one receiver.
number
That's a
one
Patriots.
No, he's
receiver.
not. He's
No,
not
he's
a number
not.
one receiver. You can't say that.
Now, this team has a terrible coach, but they have way too much talent not to win some games. And that division's not great. So
I agree they're going to win some games, but they're just – I don't think they're going to win more than 8. Number 20. All right, hold on. Nobody say anything, please. Pittsburgh Steelers. 2019 record, 8-8. Although this could have some bias surrounding it, you never know because I am a Ravens fan, full disclosure.
This should have been lower. The Pittsburgh Steelers are trash.
Again, Rishi, a Browns fan. All right, so this is what I was thinking when I put them this low. The Pittsburgh Steelers, although they have a really good defense, surrounded by T.J. Watt as their leader, their offense is not good. Ben Roethlisberger is a shell of his past self. Juju Smith-Schuster, although he's a really good wide receiver, he had a down year last year. We'll have to see if he can get back to his 2018 self, but he had a really bad year, and this team, I think they're overhyped. I don't see them getting better than their 2019 record of 8-8. Although they did have Rudolph and Duck Hodges as their quarterbacks, the AFC North is way better this year, and I don't think they're going to be able to win as many games.
Yes, second to last in passing yards last year.
Yeah.
And the rushing game is not going to be great, especially since you're going to have James Conner, who's feeling insecure about his job right now because of the running back they just drafted. And their
Right.
passing game, their offense is just going to be a problem. Their defense is great, but they're not going to be able to score points, which is why I agree with Ethan on this one.
Yeah, this
This is what I thought.
Yeah,
I
again,
thought this was going to be one of my
Steelers should
most
be
controversial.
lower than the
but
Patriots.
all right. I thought this was going to be one of my more controversial, but we all agree Pittsburgh Steelers are hot garbage. Number 19, Los Angeles Rams, 2019 record, 9-7. What can I say other than their logo is the worst in the league? That's really all you need to know at the moment. I don't like them. Jared Goff is he's okay, but he is nothing compared to what he was in 2018 when they made that Super Bowl run. No Todd Gurley, right? No, they still have Todd Gurley. What am I
No,
saying?
they lost
No,
him.
they do not.
The Falcons.
Right, they lost Todd Gurley. Right, sorry, should not have doubted myself
The
there.
Rams are
No
not going to
Todd
be able to
Gurley,
operate.
no Brandon Cooks.
They also play in the toughest division in football.
Toughest
Yeah.
division. They have a good defense with Donald and I think
Sue.
Sue. But they're
They
just
won't be able to operate, is what I'm saying. Jared Goff is
Yeah.
not the answer. The only reason he was good was because of that McVay offense, which was centered around the run. Now, who's your number one back? Cam Akers. He's
Right.
not going to be able to do anything. This is not going to
Mhm.
be a good offense. And the only star on the defense right now is Aaron Donald. They're going to have to be
They have
rebuilding in the
Ramsey.
next couple years because they're
no,
out
they
of
don't. Oh yes, they do. But they
they're
pay
out
him
of
so
options
much
right now.
money.
They're out of
Yeah.
money. They're out of options, and they're not going to be good.
Yeah, this is one of the teams. This team is in the worst position of every team.
Yeah, they're
They
just stuck.
are.
They're stuck in the mud.
They're
can't-
paying Ramsey so much money. They're not gonna have they're not gonna have money for a good 4 years, and they're gonna need Goff to either turn his production out, or he's gonna have to leave because they cannot spend a lot of more money. They just need. They're out of money basically. Number 18, Indianapolis Colts, 2019 record 7-9. I'm not sure. I don't really know much about this team. I know they have Jacoby Brissett, who had a great start to the season, but had a terrible end. They have Phillip Rivers, and they drafted Morgan out of Florida International. So they have three. I'm going to call them backup quarterbacks. They have three backup quarterbacks. So
Phillip is a
You know.
starter.
They're 30th in passing yards last year, and Phillip can't control the ball. He does not know anything about job security. Ball security. The only reason why they're going to be in slight contention at all this year is because of their O-line, along with their new running back.
all right. Next up, we have number 17, Miami Dolphins, 2019 record 5-11. I would have had this team farther up, but I can't justify it with their defense still not being where it needs to be at, and with a ton of rookies coming in, we're still not sure how they're going to be. But I think they're going to have a lot of production from their rookies, and they're going to be able to make a run, and they will be a top 10 team in the next 2 or 3 years.
This is a bit high. You're
Yeah.
contradicting yourself. Bert, you said the reason why the Bengals won't be good is because they're relying too heavily on their rookies. The Dolphins, sure, they brought in Byron Jones. Sure, they have a semi-decent defense now, except the rookies are way too unproven. You never know how Tagovailoa is going to turn out, especially since his receivers did all the work for him in Alabama.
Yep.
Yeah,
Well,
they're
we'll
8
just have
spots
to
better
see how
than
they do.
the Patriots.
Yep.
No.
Just really focusing on the Patriots there, huh? You guys
You put them
really
at
hate
25, Ethan.
Yeah, come on, man.
that. You guys really hate that.
They're
hate.
a playoff
Patriots.
team.
They're a playoff
They are
team.
not a playoff
good.
team.
Yes, they are.
No, they are
Maybe
not a playoff team.
They are.
You will watch. You'll see. They'll go 6-10, and you'll be coming back to Ethan and be like, "Wow, Ethan, you're such a genius. I wish I was you." All right.
I doubt it.
Number
Oh my-
16,
Oh my!
New York
No.
Jets,
No.
2019 record 7-9. You hear a lot of no's over there from the crowd. Let's hear what they have to say. Noah, let's see what you got to say
They're
about
not
this.
a good football team. I don't think they made the moves they needed to become a contender. They're not there yet.
I'm gonna
And
name
9
3
spots
names
ahead
right
of the
now.
Patriots. 9 spots.
31st in rush last year. 31st.
I think they're gonna
They
be
didn't
better.
do much
They
to
have
address the
Bell.
O-line.
Le'Veon Bell is better than he was last year.
How do you
Bell
know that?
is a generational talent, and
He was
is
terrible
gonna be
last
better.
year.
31st
I
in
know.
rushing, 29th in passing. This offense is stagnant, especially after losing Robbie Anderson. You don't add any more dynamic playmakers except Mims, who's not a number one receiver.
I disagree. They have Darnold They have Bell, and on defense they have Mosley, who was hurt the entire year.
It's your
Mosley's gonna
Ravens
come in,
bias, all
and
right?
he's
It's your Ravens
okay.
bias.
Okay, but Mosley, in his 5 years that he played with the Ravens, he had 4 Pro Bowls. This is the guy that was hurt last year and was taking up a ton of money. He's gonna come in and he's gonna be the leader that the Jets need on defense.
Yeah, that's him.
Number
And who
15,
else?
the Philadelphia
Okay.
Eagles, 2019 record 9-7.
Bit low.
Yeah.
This is
This
pretty
is a
low.
playoff
I
They
know.
they should be.
Playoff
No.
team, maybe a division
Yeah.
winner.
This is a good, very good placement. They're number 15.
They were a playoff team and they only got better. I don't.
Only
How
got
did they get
better.
better?
Are
Yeah.
you sure? They lost a
How
lot
did
of
they get
guys on
better?
defense.
They did not. They got Darius Slay to like. They
I
lost corners and
I
they
know,
got
And they
but
And they got an underrated
sure
signing,
they got
Mikel
better,
Roby
but so
Coleman.
did they got better, but so did everybody else, especially in their division. We're gonna see later, and you guys will. There might be screaming
Ethan,
later on.
with teams like the Broncos still, you didn't introduce them yet. The Eagles don't deserve to be this low.
The Eagles
No,
are going
Broncos
to
are
be better
leagues.
next year.
Broncos are leagues above the Eagles. That's all I have to
No.
say.
And
wow.
plus
No.
receivers.
Okay.
Why
Number
didn't have a
14.
receiver
Okay.
that had over 500 yards?
We'll see.
And
Number 14, Cleveland Browns, 2019 record 6-10. All right, the Browns. However you guess what the Browns are, they're not going to be that. So we got to put them about the average. They have so much talent, and if they have a losing record again, I don't know what you can say because they have the best wide receiver, one of the best wide receiver core, one of the best backfields, a pretty good defense, and I don't know
I
what
say
you
they're
can
going
say
to
other
break
than
out
that.
and win the division.
Good call.
Yes.
They'll
Watch
win the
them not
division.
break out and not win the division.
No, they're
All
winning.
right.
They're winning both
And you're
games
gonna
against
come
the
back to
Ravens.
me.
They're winning
Both games against the
North.
Ravens. No, they're I will give you they will most likely split. Excuse me. They will split with the Ravens.
Yeah, I like this. Obviously, you didn't
All right,
have
Browns.
them
You
make the
actually
playoffs.
let's go back to the Browns. Rishi, you talk about it since you are a Browns fan.
Obviously, I like this. You have the Browns making the playoffs. I think that I think they'll definitely make the playoffs. And even though they have like iffy cornerback play, I think that the AFC North wide receivers, except the Bengals, the wide receiver cores aren't that like overpowered like the Browns wide receivers. So I don't think that'll be too big of a problem.
I agree. Number 13, Seattle Seahawks, 2019 record 11-5. So this might be a little bit low for the Seahawks, but this team, I'm not sure if Russell Wilson will be able to carry this team again. He had a great 2019 season, and they really don't have much production on offense from their running backs. And they have good wide receivers, but Russell Wilson, he's everything to this team. If he even drops a tiny bit in productivity, this team is going nowhere this season.
who did they lose that make them drop from a perennial Pro Bowl team to
Yeah,
number
they didn't
13 in
they
your
didn't
power
lose that
rankings?
much. Maybe they needed to add more pass rush. They need more pass rushers.
They still
They're not-
Jadeveon Clowney hasn't signed with anybody. If he signs with them, they might move back up, but I don't see it right
They're
now.
Yeah, I
keeping a
agree
guy
with
who was first in tackles. He led the league in tackles, and he's about to mentor one of the more unpolished linebackers in the draft in Jordan Brooks, who will maybe even turn out like Bobby Wagner.
Like, this is one of those teams that one player keeps the whole team together. As long as you have Wilson, you're making the playoffs every single year.
Yeah, they just have a
Yeah,
winning
I mean,
philosophy.
I agree, but it's a tough task for one man to keep leading a team over and over again. So we'll see what happens. Number 12, Arizona Cardinals, 2019 record 5-10-1. So
This is the
before you guys
way
say
too
anything,
high, way too
before
high.
you guys
Yeah,
say
tell me they're
anything,
better than the Seahawks, dude.
This
They
team
are.
is
Before you say
bottom
anything-
10 in the whole NFL.
No.
Kingsbury's
This
answer
team
here.
is a playoff team. This is a playoff team. Kyler Murray's going to have a breakout season this year. They got DeAndre Hopkins, who was a great player. They got for Kyler Murray to throw to. They have Larry Fitz opposite side of them. That is such a dangerous combo.
That's what
DeAndre
they said
Hopkins.
about Baker. Look what happened.
Yeah.
Yeah, but Baker.
That's what they said about
Kyler
Baker.
Murray
They
is
have
different
Odell.
than
They
Baker.
brought in Odell, and you had Jarvis, and they're like, yes, the Browns, they're going to win the
Kyler
division.
Murray
And
took
look
the
what
most
happened.
sacks last year in the whole NFL, and you do nothing for the O-line. You go Isaiah Simmons in the first round. This is going to be a flashy team, not a good team.
No.
Yes,
This team
that's-
is going to
this
be
is-
dynamic.
Ethan, I think you're
This team
forgetting
is
that they
going
have
to keep
two Super Bowl
everybody on
contenders
their
in their
heels.
division.
Yeah, they have two top 10 teams in their division, and they have the Rams. You don't know what the Rams are going to be next year. The Rams might be a playoff team. They might not be a playoff team. The Cardinals are going to be the worst in their division yet again.
No. This team is going to be dynamic. This team will surprise. They're going to make the playoffs. Right here, right now, I'm saying they will make the playoffs. Buffalo Bills 2019 record 10-6. Honestly, I think this is one of my most secure picks for the Buffalo Bills at number 11. They're pretty good. Josh Allen, especially with the pickup of Stephon Diggs. Good defense, but they don't really have that star. They don't really have an elite team. They have a nice playoff team that should be able to make it the playoffs and maybe make a run in a 1 year, but overall, a pretty solid team.
Yeah, they didn't lose
Have a
anyone.
surprisingly
They're
good
only-
defense next year.
Feels a little low. I mean,
A little bit
No.
low.
I think
it's an
this is
easy
just right.
division. I love Sean McDermott. Josh Allen's good. They added Diggs. They have Singletary. They added a running back high in the draft. I mean, they addressed their needs. I think they're good.
This is
Better
just
than
right
11.
for the Bills. I mean,
Yeah.
the Bills aren't a flashy team by any means. They always hang in games. They always win games by like a field goal or maybe a touchdown. The Bills hang in there. I think they're going to go probably 11-5. I think this is a good place to put them.
Yeah, the Bills and Patriots will compete for the division title.
Thank you guys so much for watching my power rankings from 32 to 11. 10 through 1 come out on Wednesday. Make sure you guys catch that. Really great discussion as always from the guys. This has been ELPS. I'm Ethan. Thank you guys so much. Peace out.